Hey guys, my name is Kirsty and I am very stressed. Okay, so that isn't actually the name of this video. No. Today I am going to be talking about my top 10 auto by authors. So when I say that, I mean it doesn't matter what the book's about. If the cover's rubbish, if it looks rubbish, I will still buy the book. And that's just because I've either had a really good experience with these authors before, or I have the rest of the series and I just need to buy the rest of the series just so it looks good on the shelf. And there are more than 10, but because this is a top 10 video, obviously I had to narrow it down to 10. So yeah, there's probably like 50, but that video would take absolutely ages, so I might have to film like my auto by authors number 2 or something like that, but we'll see. Let's just get on with the video, shall we? So the first auto by author for me is Laini Taylor. I will admit it, this is the first Laini Taylor book that I have ever read. I own Lips Touched 3 times and I also own all of the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, but this is the first Laini Taylor book that I have actually read and I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with every single word that she wrote. I fell in love with the scenery, the characters, just everything. Absolutely everything. If I see anything Laini Taylor, I will buy it. I just absolutely love it, and I had the pleasure of meeting her as well, and she is an absolutely lovely woman, and yeah, she's just great. Now, the second author is because I have all of their books, but I haven't read any of their books. So I just buy the rest of their books, so it looks like I have a complete collection, which means there's just more books to add onto my TBR. That's Sarah J. Maas, so I have A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy and the Throne of Glass series. Yes, I own Tower of Dawn as well. No, I have not read any, and I mean any, of the Sarah J. Maas books. Not one. Not one single one, so I cannot say whether they're good, whether they're bad. So if I absolutely hate her writing, well, I'm kind of stuck with all of her books, so yeah. Third one is Marissa Meyer. I have only read Cinder out of the Lunar Chronicles series, but I loved Cinder so much. I just thought it was beautifully written. I absolutely loved the characters. I can't wait to read Scarlet, but again, my TBR pile is like absolutely massive, so I have no idea when I'm going to get round to that. The only Marissa Meyer books that I actually own is the Lunar Chronicles like quartet bit. I don't actually own Fairest of Them All, Stars Above, so I don't own any of those. I just have the quartet, but anything that she writes I will end up buying sometime in the future. The next one is an author that I will follow till the day I die, and that is just because when I was 14 I read their books and I just absolutely fell in love with everything. I just completely fangirled. Everything that I owned was about this world at some point, and that is Cassandra Clare and the City of Bones series, the Infernal Devices trilogy, the Magnus Bane Chronicles, Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows and everything else. Everything that she writes, I will buy. No doubt about it. Even though everything that she has written by herself is about the Shadowhunter world, but also because she co-authored with Holly Black on the Magisterium series, I bought that as well, just because it was Cassandra Clare. But to be honest, I haven't actually reread City of Bones since I first read it when I was 14. That is 7 years ago. Oh my life, has it been that long? When did this book first come out? The book came out in 2007, 10 years ago. And I actually want to give it a reread. But yeah, anything by Cassandra Clare, I will just buy automatically. I have pre-ordered the 10th anniversary edition of City of Bones. No regrets at all. The next book that I have is one that I've actually recently read, and I think, no, this isn't her debut novel. Why am I giving out false information for? But that is Mackenzie Lee and The Gentleman's Guide of Vice and Virtue. This book is one of the best books that I have ever read in my entire life. I do have a review for this, so I will put that on the screen or down below or whatever I feel like doing at the time. The second book to this is The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy. That comes out in 2018. She does have another book, but I can't remember what it's called. I don't know, but she does have another book and I really want to get my hands on it. But every time I look on Amazon, it's unavailable. I absolutely loved A Gentleman's Guide. I could not fault anything with it at all. Every word was perfect. The characters were perfect. And yeah, definitely going to be buying everything that Mackenzie Lee ever writes. Ever. The next book, or the next author, should I say, is Maggie Stiefvater. Okay, so the first time I came across Maggie Stiefvater was when she wrote the Shiver trilogy. And again, I think I was like 14. It was around that Twilight era that we all went through, and some people are still in. There is nothing wrong with that. And then I came across the Raven Boys Quartet. Read it, absolutely loved it. She does have All the Crooked Saints that is out now. Haven't brought it yet. I've seen it in the shops. I'm a bit apprehensive. I know she's an auto by author for me. I know that's why she's on this list. And I am going to buy All the Crooked Saints. It's just that I need to pluck up the courage because it's got some negative reviews and reviews that saying, oh, it's not as good as the Raven Boys, and people are saying, oh my god, it was amazing. So mixed opinions, as there will be for every book out there. I am going to buy it, just not right now. The next author is one that is similar to the whole Sarah J. Maas problem. I own all of her books, have not read any of them, and that is Leigh Bardugo. I own Wonder Woman, obviously, because you can see it. I own the Grisha trilogy, I own Six of Crows, I own Crooked Kingdom, I own Language of Thorns, I own everything that she's wrote, I just haven't read anything. I think the reason that I buy them is because there's so much hype surrounding all of her book releases, so I get really caught up in the hype and I'm like, oh my god, Crooked Kingdom's out, I'm so happy, it was so good, I'm just gonna buy it. And I'm like, wait a second, I didn't even read it, why am I saying that it's so good for? So yeah, that's my problem. I'm like, I can't wait till that sequel comes out, guys. I haven't read the first book, but I am excited for the final one. And wow. I am gonna get around to her books. I think I'm kind of scared as well because there is so much hype surrounding it and I don't want to be let down. I mean, obviously there's hype for a reason, right? But when it just builds up and builds and builds and builds, I just get a bit weary of reading them. So, Rainbow Rowell, another auto by author. I will follow this lady till the end of the earth and back 1,000 times. And this book, Fangirl, it wasn't the first Rainbow Rowell book that I read. The first one that I read was Eleanor and Park. I thought he was alright. Then I read Fangirl, and it has become one of the best books that I have ever read. Like A Gentleman's Guide, this book is about university and coming to grips with university and the life. And I read this book before I was going into my first year, and I related to this book and the characters so much that it will always be like ingrained in my brain of how good it was and how much it means to me. Then I think the only book that I haven't read by Rainbow Rowell is Carry On, which is absolutely awful, I know. So I read Fangirl, loved it. Landline, loved it. Kindred Spirits, which is the World Book Day book that she wrote. Absolutely loved that because it's just about nerdy Star Wars things and I love Star Wars. So, and the trailer for The Last Jedi. Oh my life, I have watched that 1 billion times and it's just... Bring on December 15th. I am ready. I am so here for that film. I cannot wait. Anyway, back to books. Yeah, because that's why you're here. Yeah, Rainbow Rowell. Brilliant author. Thoroughly recommend. Then we have... I nearly said Rainbow Rigs. It's been a long day. okay? I've just come back from university. No, Ransom Riggs. I mean, I know he's only wrote the Miss Peregrine's trilogy and Tales of the Peculiar, but I have read all 4 of the books, absolutely loved them, want to read them again. But again, anything that he writes, I will read because this was just amazing. I fell in love with the books. Didn't think much of the film. Sorry, Ransom Riggs, I just didn't. The last author that I will just give all of my money to, I don't have any money to give to them, but they can have it anyway. That made no sense. Is Stephanie Garber, and Caraval was her debut novel. Oh my god, it was just, it blew me away. The second book is called Legendary. It comes out May next year, March next year. I think it's May. I had to pre-order it, okay? Have you seen the cover? Oh my god, this is the cover. It's amazing, okay? Like, everything about this cover is just the best thing ever. Had the pleasure of meeting Stephanie Garber as well. Oh my god, she is such a lovely woman. I was late to meet her because the bus was running late because all the trains were broken down and it was tipping it down a rain, and I had to walk from the bus station to Waterstones and I got drenched. And then I walked into the meeting and everyone was like, who's that girl who's walked in late? And I was like, oh my god. It was just, yeah. It was an embarrassing life moment, okay? It was just, even if she just wrote some random words on a napkin, I would read them, I would treasure them, I would probably frame them because it's Stephanie Garber. So that is my list of my top 10 auto by authors. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there is plenty more, and I'll probably end up having to do a second video to show you the rest of them. But that's it for now. Let's just keep it at 10 so the video doesn't become mega long. That's it for this video. If you did like it, please give it a big thumbs up. If you've got any comments, questions, leave it in the comments box below. I do post Mondays, Tuesdays and Fridays. If you want updates for when I post a video, just click on the bell icon below. After you've subscribed, of course, can't forget that one. And yeah, you'll receive a notification for when I post a new video. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!